sounds like an old friend for you, is it? Good. Have you played with orchestra? Yeah, I'm not surprised. It has the settled sound of having done it there. Now, there really is very, very little to do. Just a few places I think maybe we can make even more interesting than you already do. It sounds very commanding. It's very, what you put across is impressive, but musical at the same time. It's a nice sound, you know, everything's really in very good shape. The only place that I think you don't find interest that you could is in these fast 16th note rounds. What they tend to go into a bit of a sequence that you've said, okay, now I have to memorize this, I'm going to say all these, okay, now I'm done with that. So, and it's not that it's well done, it's all that, but there's not as much shape as there might be. So let's look at that opening cadenza for an example. If you couldn't have it open just for me, not for you. Great. Good, let's try the opening. So we can hear. So can you play? So feel the elevator to get you to the new thing, and so they all, the non-harmonic tones and the harmonic tones and everything sounds a little bit the same. They're all very easy to do. So go really slow and notice which ones fit, which ones don't fit. Very slow. Just briefly, you went to all that trouble to get there. So enjoy it just a moment before you fall back down. Now, what you may not know if you don't know the piece, she's playing. That's the tune. Okay? This cadenza is made up of the melody that is about to be the tune. So if we don't hear any of the shape of it, then that connection is not made. Okay? Good. Now, can you do it one more time as if you've never seen this before, and just any note that looks interesting, you bring it out. Still. As you're coming down, it's what he's about to imitate, right? Right, so be sure that that is hearable in order to be imitated. Does that make sense? Now, all of this, of course, within going as fast as the wind, but still not so fast that you don't have time to do something interesting. So come down from the high thing there. Which is gorgeous. So I would say the one before maybe not so serious. That one right there. So then when you come up for this one, you're not at your maximum already. To the high note and drops back down. So slightly more shape on that little thing there. And this is cute here. Kind of poke that one out and then pull away. Try that. Or so I don't know where you want to start. High E. Why don't you start at the heights? Wherever you like. Let's pick it up. The really high, no. You can start wherever you like. He will find you, I promise. Unfortunately, the orchestra goes away. So I think you're better off holding your D and melting into the A flat than dropping and trying to swell. Because what that means is nobody's in control for that last beat. So D, and so da. Okay. So it can be warm and beautiful, and you can be shading the edge off, but don't let the volume down quite so much during your D connector. Now that's a little aggressive, and what you want to back in a bit. So so start it louder and then come away. That was the problem. This is too soft. Bring them back in if you like. You correctly think you are not rubbatoing the triplets, which end up being so they don't sound anything like triplets usually. So you aren't doing that, but feel each one of them really, really fat. And really stretch and fight the piano just a little bit to take as much time as you can. Right on the G string thing. Not even that much, but that's it. Okay. About the fourth bar in, you thought, she's going to ask me for more shape, and you started putting it. Exactly. Put it in from the beginning. And you need this in Bach, you need this in Mozart, really anybody. They don't write random notes. So there are reasons that they are these notes and not any other. Now, I'm not implying that you're playing in a boring way at all. It just could be more colorful than it is. So, one good way to find these things is to think about how you would slur it, possibly. So, me slowly again. So yeah, then so that little shape there. It should feel kind of like a roller coaster ride that you take us along. Try kind of medium speed just to find what you do. Musically, anytime you get an accidental, that's a good clue that you're turning somewhere. So that's when, if you're riding in a car and you feel somebody exit the freeway, there's that little bit of kinetic feeling to it, and you want to have that as well. Remember, you just come in here. Yeah. So example. So all those accidentals are nudging us towards that new key. So just for your technical purposes, it means that it just gets a little more significant, a little more on the string possibly at those points. So when you're bopping along in the key you're in, you know, the fancy off is fine. And then anything you want to bring out, we'll go with it. So use your thicker brush on those notes that you want to bring out, and everything else can have the very light off the string you're doing. Good. I'm not expecting you to be able to do that right off the bat. You probably could, but let's see what else we had. This is all wonderful. I really had no issues. I just want to hear the chords at the end. Let's start from P again. So basically just a little more lengthy than even with eighth notes there. That's melody, right? You're imitating what he just did, right? So right. So you bring those out just a little bit. Interestingly enough, that's the motive that he then chooses to go to do stretto. Stretto being narrow, like a straight vibrato. Anytime you see stretto or refer to stretto, it's things coming in a narrower event. So so he uses that same figure to then do the quicker version. Last time, yeah? So nothing fancy, just, and you're just going to, okay?